Welcome to the M.O.V.E. Show. Release your junk and move into your destiny with Dr. Michelle. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Barr, spiritual coach, counselor, and former crisis and trauma therapist. If you've ever felt like you might be the one standing between where you are and where you're meant to be, you're in the right place. Each week, I'll guide you with powerful teachings, tools, and techniques to help you clear, heal, and resolve what's keeping you stuck. This is your safe place to land and your next level upgrade. Let's release that junk and move. Make a decision, own it 100%, visualize it, and execute it. The M.O.V.E. Show starts now. Hello. Today is the day I talk about not only what I love, what I've been talking about for well over a decade, but the thing that turned my life around. Even after I had been applying all these other pieces and they were working hit or miss, there was something I discovered, and I'm going to tell you about my 2015. If you have been following me, then you've made the decision, you've owned it, you've been visualizing it, and now it's time to move. We're going to talk about and really dive deep into the fourth and final step of my move process, because this is what makes everything happen. Execute it. And that means taking aligned, inspired action. You're going to learn it's not about just getting busy and doing. Too many people do that, and I was stuck in that for years. Instead, the key, the secret, is learning how to take aligned, inspired action that brings your desires into form and moves you out of confusion, hesitation, waiting, spiritual stagnation in every level of your being and your life, into soul-led momentum. It's very different than being reactive and being triggered and being stuck in fight, flight, or freeze. So let's get going with this right now, because for a long time, every time I would dig into what I wanted to talk about, what was keeping me up at night, these were all things that my coach would ask me as I was building and growing my business and my platform and my message. And it came down to this: too many people never take any action toward what they say they want most, and then they wonder why they don't have it. And I declared something really bold. 2015 was going to be my year of yes, because I finally was understanding the laws of the universe, universal law, energy working in the field. And one thing I know, remember, there's just working hard, hammer against nail, matter against matter, but you can learn to work energy against energy. And what I found was action is not what creates what you're wanting, needing, and desiring. Action is what brings it to you. It already exists in the field. And don't worry, I'm going to do a whole show on the field and really talk about that, but you've got to get the M.O.V.E. down. And so if this is your first time here, you're just finding me, you can go back. This is the fourth episode, and you can get the 3 episodes before this. And by the end of today's episode, I want you to be putting my M.O.V.E. method into action in your own life. I talk all the time about there's your part and the universe's part, and getting this right gets you everything that you want, need, and desire. So going to this year 2015, and I thought, I always go first. I always step out and I try things and I learn, and then I turn around and reach my hand out and teach you what I have learned. So I had to go big. I had to test this out, which means every single opportunity that showed up in my life that year that was aligned and inspired, I had to say yes to. It got scary. It got crazy. It got interesting. It got exhilarating. Those things that show up in your world, in your space, and in your energy, in form, in invitation, even in obstacle, that make you feel both like you're really excited and you're going to throw up and you're nervous and scared. Those are the things you absolutely have to do. That year, I doubled my income in less than 12 months in this business I had been building. I got unstuck. Opportunities came in. I wrote my first book. I got on my first big stage. I ended up on a stage in Las Vegas in front of 1,000 people. The money came. The people showed up. I doubled my reach. The clients showed up, all the things. I went on this trip to Africa with a group of entrepreneurs. It's endless, the things that I created and that came to me that year. I took my family, my entire family, on a Caribbean cruise when I wasn't sure how I could make that work and how I could even pay for it. What I'm telling you is this work works. This is the place where we release the junk and move into our destiny. You make the decision, you own it 100%, which means stop self-doubting, second guessing, stepping in and out. You learn to use the visualization tool I taught you in episode 3, just 5 minutes a day, visioning. And now it's time for the fourth and final step in my MOVE method. Execute it. E for execute it. But it's all about taking aligned, inspired action. This is the part where your vision meets your reality. Nothing happens until an action is taken. Remember what I just said. Action is how you receive what's already there for you. I've talked about this before. We have free will. Spirit cannot and will not impede on your free will. You always have to take the first step, and you always have to put things in motion. So let's explore how you can stop hesitating and start moving forward with clarity and power. Clarity is key, and people keep themselves in confusion for way too long. In fact, I always talk about, and will again on this show with you all, how confusion is a defense mechanism and it's not serving you. It is universal law. There is always a way forward from wherever you now stand. Always a way forward from wherever you now stand. So clarity and then power. This is all about your power and all the places and all the ways that you have given your power away, suppressed your power, believed you didn't have power, and then take your power back. Because the universe does not respond to the words you put out there. The universe responds to your energy, your vibration, your frequency, your emotions, your energy in motion. If you've ever felt like you're doing all the inner work but not seeing results, I was there. And I'm telling you, some people don't want to do that inner work at all. No, not for me, but others like me love it. And we can stay in it if I can just find the one more thing I need to clear, and then it'll all come to me. You can get stuck in that. You can get stuck in thinking you have to heal too much when what you have to do is get into action. And I see this a lot with my clients because they come in And they say, what healing do I need to do? But I have to get you into action so that I can see what's actually coming up. We don't need to dive deep. I'm a former therapist. We used to go into your childhood, your birth, all those things, and they have a place. But with this, you're going to only deal with the things in your past as they're showing up right now. And so I need to get you into action, especially new action, to see what's going to rise up because it's rising up to be cleared, healed, and resolved so you can allow and receive what you want, need, and desire. This is very important. Just listen and let it land and get it. It's not showing up because God is saying, no, stop, you can't have it, only other people can. You can't have it right now. There's still something inside of you. You can have everything you desire, or the desire would not be there. Wherever there is a desire, a way has already been made. Take that one. And so, whatever shows up is showing up to be cleared, healed, and resolved. The universe, spirit, your soul, your higher self, they are saying, yes, you can have it. You can be it. You can do it. But here's what can't go with you because you have to become the person who can have it, be it, and do it. If you get stuck in planning mode, visioning mode, learning mode, but still not moving, where I come from here in Texas, we call it getting ready to get ready to get ready. And people stay there way too long. And then what? They wonder why they don't have what they're desiring. That visioning tool is a great tool, but you're not meant to get stuck there. It feels really good. Anytime we go above our 3D dimension and world and mind, our dreams live up here and it feels really good, but we've got to get them out of our head and into the world. And we only do that with aligned, inspired action. If you can get so impeccable and be willing to be perfectly imperfect and take messy action, you will learn how to get into action and stay in action. And that's what I did during my year of yes and how I now live so that things keep coming. You follow the breadcrumbs, you don't stop and start. What if your next breakthrough isn't in another healing, another idea, but in your next action? Aligned, inspired action. It's the final step that changes everything. Every single thing you do moves you either toward or away from what you want. So you have to get really clear and really honest if what you're doing is moving you toward or away. There's no middle ground to sit in. And let me be clear, this isn't about hustle, pushing, forcing, or striving. There are people, especially the bro marketing crew, that will teach this and it does work. But at what cost? And I found there's a much easier, graceful way. Everything with grace and ease. I even want to learn my lessons with grace and ease. I'm done with hard lessons, and I tell the universe and my spiritual guidance that all the time. Inspired, aligned action is about moving from your center, from your intuition, feeling it in your body, not moving from fear, fight, flight, freeze. It's taking steps that are soul directed that move you toward what you want based on opportunities that are showing up in your field. It is not panic driven and it's not your mind. Remember, your mind is a tool and it can be oh so helpful to say, oh, if I do this, oh, if I do this, if I do this. But if you let the universe divinely orchestrate, it will bring you much more than your mind can conceive. Also, you get stuck sometimes in what I think I can have instead of what I truly desire. And this is about allowing energy to lead while staying grounded. I spent a lot of time too getting up into these principles and ideas and this energy and living only from the neck up in those higher chakras, and I wasn't grounded. And what happens then is your everyday physical life starts falling apart, including your body, your money, relationships, your structures and foundations. This is about taking the next right step, not every step. I would catch myself that I wasn't doing something in this moment to move me forward because I didn't have the answers to step 8, 9, and 10. I didn't write my first book for years because of that. And then a helpful coach pointed it out. I don't need to know the answers to those because I haven't taken the step that's in front of me right now. You see? So those aren't going to reveal themselves to me. My book came in so fast once I took the step in front of me. Martin Luther King Jr. said this, and I've always loved it. I think about it a lot. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. I also always taught it that if you decided you were going to drive from the West Coast to the East Coast, from LA to New York, and it's nighttime and your headlights are on, you only need to see what is in your headlights and start moving forward because the road conditions further on will change depending on how fast or slow you're going, depending on what stops you make, depending on what you do. Are you driving? Are you flying? You don't need to know all those answers. Here's the power of this phase because I've been where you are right now. Oh, the time I had done so much inner work and my outer world wasn't changing. Why? Because I wasn't moving. I was waiting to be 100% ready. And I had so many clients come into my life, into my office, and they would say, if you can promise me that all these things will happen, I'll do it. And I said, well, it'll never happen that way. You have to do it based on your desires, and you have to co-create and partner with the universe. I was still managing so much fear, self-doubt, and perfectionism, all the things. And I realized you won't feel ready. People would ask me over and over and over again, as if it was their secret and their key, how do I get rid of the fear? You don't. The fear goes away when you do the thing, and your brain and your nervous system realize, I did not die. I survived it. So when I finally started following the breadcrumbs, taking at first small, inspired, aligned steps, and doors opened, and then I got braver and bolder and started doing some ledge leaps. The clients came, the money flowed, the message got clear because the universe responds to movement. One of my beloved mentors, Dr. Joe Vitale, wrote a book, Money Loves Speed. It's based on a lot of the universal principles, and I applied them, and it is very true. So, this fourth step, the E, execute it, is when you show the universe you mean it and you give the universe permission to step in, to rush in with all manner of support. So then, how did I know what actions to take? I kept focusing on what I needed, wanted, and desired. And then I looked at what would move me toward, not away from what I wanted, because the things that will move you away are your brain creating them and your body creating them, a lot of times unconsciously and subconsciously. Let's don't go there. Let's don't do this. Let's stay safe in the familiar because we know how to survive this, where your soul is saying, leap, step, leap, jump, do these big, bold, scary, exciting things. Tune into your body, learn to work with your intuition, learn to work with your energy, learn to recognize that your mind is a tool, your mind is not you, and it doesn't always serve you. I don't let my mind make decisions for me. I use it now as the tool it is. Spirit never speaks in fear. That's something one of my mentors taught me, and it's true. When people would say, my guide said, my angel said, and it would be no, or don't do this, Spirit never speaks in fear. Ask yourself, ask your soul, what is my next aligned step? And then when it shows up, do it no matter what. Watch what rises without fear and pressure that shows up, and then how you react or respond to it. Aligned action is going to feel uncomfortable, inconvenient, sometimes overwhelming, not logical. Because if you already were aligned to it, you would already have those things. It's going to help you become the person who receives those things. It will feel clear, even if you don't know the whole plan, and you have to get really used to not knowing the whole plan, because the plan forms based on the actions and steps you take and your thoughts and feelings and emotions and words around them, what stories you're telling. We're going to do a whole show on the stories that you tell. It will feel like a stretch. It will stretch and grow you, but once you surrender to it and you trust, it won't be the struggle you're used to trying to do it the other way. Sometimes it is send this email, show up at this event, make an ask, book a session, declare a launch, post an offer. Remember that person from long ago? Look them up. Where have they gone? I have learned to follow them when they show up. I don't have to know why, and it pays off for me. The action doesn't always have to be big, but it does have to be consistent. So let's pause here for a moment. Let's activate this now. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Place your hands over your heart. Now ask yourself, what is the one inspired, aligned action I can take today that will move me closer to what I want? Move your mind out of the way and listen, whatever it is, whatever comes up. Feel into it. Now say aloud, I move. I act. I take inspired, aligned action. I am in motion with my mission, creating my own miracle. Because every time you act in alignment, you collapse time. You can't just dream it. You must move toward it. This final step, the E, execute it, take aligned, inspired action, is where you prove to yourself and the universe that you are ready to live the life you've desired, dreamed about, visualized. I've created tools to help you stay in motion. And one of them is the giveaway that you can find on the show page, my 21-day free email course that will get you working with my M.O.V.E method with this process right away. Or dive deeper into my book, Loving What's Next. What you want can be yours now. You can find it on Amazon. You can find all of it on my website. This isn't the end of the process. It's the beginning of your next breakthrough. Let's keep moving together. Let's keep you moving. You want to start with the M, the O, the V, and the E. And I'm going to finish up today by telling you one of those stories of what came into my life. I was building my business. It was still pretty new. I had had a pretty big failure that had knocked me off my feet. And I got myself back up and I kept having this persistent thought. Remember Mark? Well, Mark that kept popping up in my mind was my ex-husband's high school best friend and roommate. You got that? Why is he popping up in my mind? Finally, I looked him up and we made contact. And then he said, I see what you're doing. I'm watching on Facebook. I didn't know any of that. I'm interested in this, and I have someone you have to meet. Then he and this woman showed up in my space to visit, and she was instrumental in my business and my life for a long time. That's how it can happen. It was persistent, it was illogical. And yet, the universe wove it together. So he needed something that I had, and he had something for me. And the opportunity presented itself, and I responded. Now I don't make it come and come and come and persist and tap. I respond. I've even gotten up in the night after I've already gone to bed to send an email or do something like that. That's what I invite you right now to watch. Watch those things that come in like that, that are uncomfortable, inconvenient, illogical, and often they will seem expensive and they're going to stretch and grow you. Start paying attention to the aligned, inspired action that is inviting you to participate. And with that, if you haven't already, make a decision, just one decision to test this out. Own it 100%, even if you can only do that for 24 hours at a time. Start using the visioning tool. Visualize it 5 minutes every day and let it grow and expand in your awareness, your consciousness, your energy. And start now taking the aligned, inspired actions. And one last thing, because a lot of people say, I'm looking for them, I'm waiting for them. There aren't any. There is always one. And you know what it is, and you either can't see it or you're not wanting to see it. So first, you've got to open up to what I'm saying, what we've activated today, because you could be blocking it out. Baby steps, ledge leaps, you are ready. And it's the only way you're going to create what you need, want, and desire that you don't already have. And I'm going to leave you with that. And I'll be back soon with more. Thank you. You've been listening to The M.O.V.E. Show. Release your junk and move into your destiny. Catch us every first and third Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. Don't miss a moment. Subscribe, like, and share with your friends. And let's keep the conversation going. Connect with me on social at Michelle Barr Coach. And if you're ready for your next step, grab my latest bestseller, Loving What's Next, at michellebarr.com. Until next time, keep clearing the junk. Make a decision, own it 100%, visualize it, and execute it. Until next time, remember to keep moving.